How to carry out assessment in the Learning Planner. Hello, welcome once again. Let's look at the assessment in the Learning Planner. What is an assessment? Assessment in education is a way of evaluating students' learning progress and achievements. It involves measuring the students' performance and the mastery of skills, as well as their understanding level. There are so many tools that can be used for assessment. Examples are quizzes or Wayground and Google Forms. Check out my channel for videos on how to use these assessment tools. There are three facets in education. We have curriculum, pedagogy, and assessment. Assessment drives the curriculum. Let's look at the assessment handbook. It guides you to undertake effective assessments. It has a weekly learning plan, which is aligned with the content and pedagogy. The assessment handbook stipulates a specific mode of assessment for each week, and you have to go according to it. The Teacher Assessment Manual and Toolkit, TAMT, is a repository of the assessment modes. It defines the assessment mode and how you can conduct it. Check my channel description for the link to the TAMT. Apart from each week having a particular assessment mode, there are 9 assessment events and 6 general modes of assessment for each academic year, which is made up of 2 semesters. The 6 modes of assessment are class exercise or homework, mid-semester examination, end-of-semester examination, group project, individual portfolio, and then individual project. The 9 events are the frequencies in which each of the assessment modes occur in one academic year. Now the events are that the class exercise or homework will occur 2 times. This means that one for first semester and one for the second semester. The mid-semester occurs 2 times, one for first semester and one for second semester. The end of semester occurs twice, one for first semester and one for second semester. Group project, individual portfolio, and individual project all occur only once in the academic year. How do you know which week to undertake a particular assessment mode? Just follow the assessment handbook and it will direct you on what assessment to do for each week. By the time the semester or academic year ends, you would have covered all the 6 modes and 9 events. Apart from mid-semester and end-of-semester examinations, the other modes of assessments can be done multiple times and the best picked out of it. What I mean is that, for example, many class exercises can be done and the best score picked out for recording on the transcript system. Just make sure the tests have the same denominator. Take a look at this chart, which has simplified modes and events. The events are written in red. Note that in the assessment handbook, each session is for a week. So session 1 represents week 1, session 16 is for week 16, etc. Now let's go on to how to write a good assessment in the Learning Planner. The assessment is embedded in the Learning Planner. It comes after the activities in the Learning Planner. Scroll down to the heading or place titled Assessment DOK, aligned to the curriculum and subject teacher manual. Skills or behaviors to assess. The first thing to state is the skills or behaviors to assess. In the new curriculum, assessment does not only consider academics, but things like 21st century skills, character, national values, 21st century competencies, etc. So for every assessment, the teacher has to list at least one or more of these that he will consider and give marks to. These skills can be found in the assessment handbook. For example, if you want to instill honesty and truthfulness through the assessment, any student who copy answers from a colleague is not honest and truthful. So any student caught doing that will get 0 marks for honesty and truthfulness. If the total marks are 10, honesty and truthfulness can be allocated 2 marks, whilst the written test gets 8 marks. The students should be informed of this so that they would practice it. The idea is for them to practice it, not to catch them off guard so that they would lose marks. Assessment strategy. The second item under the assessment column is the assessment strategy or mode. This can be found in the assessment handbook. Each week is given a specific assessment mode to conduct, so just the assessment mode under this point. Assessment task. The next point is the assessment task. Assessment task is the questions used to test the students. Under this point, you type in only your questions, indicating the DOK levels for each question as well as all sub-questions. Rubric. Rubric is the next point after assessment task. Rubrics are the guidelines used to allocate marks to the answers. The number of rubrics depends on the teacher, but it should be simple, few, and straight to the point. Not all questions need rubrics. It is subjective questions that need rubrics. Subjective questions are those that depend on the learner's understanding of the situation or question. Example, list the steps in preparing a stew. There are so many ways of preparing stew, so this question will need a rubric, a guide to what the examiner should look out to allocate marks. Marking scheme. After rubric is the marking scheme. Not every question needs a marking scheme. Some questions need only rubrics, only a marking scheme, or both rubrics and marking scheme. A marking scheme is the answer to objective questions. Objective questions are questions that has a direct, specific answer. Any other thing is wrong. Example, what is the capital town of Ghana? There is only one answer, which is Accra. Any other answer is wrong. Answers to the assessment tasks should appear under the marking scheme or rubrics. You should take note that the assessment task, rubrics and marking schemes can be attached as an appendix at the end of the learning planner. Assessment administration. The fifth point is the assessment administration. This point is about the activities to be done before, during, and after the assessment. This can be found in the TAMT, the Teacher Assessment Manual and Toolkit. Just locate where the assessment mode is being explained. Copy the activities under the before, during, and after that assessment mode into the learning planner. You can make some changes if you wish. Feedback. Now the last part is the feedback for learners. The assessment tasks should be marked, graded, and feedback given to the learner to identify their mistakes. It is advised that feedback should be given to learners within 72 hours, except for project works, which can have different durations. I will now scroll through the assessment section of a learning planner for you to see an example of what has been talked about. Please stay tuned. If you want a learning planner template for any learning area, contact me at the comments section. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and share.
Modest tranquility. Said I made up my mind this time. I'm taking it all.